Well, welcome everyone. Hello, I'm Gina Van Leeuwen, a wellness speaker, author, and health coach, board certified by the American Association of Drugless Practitioners. I formerly served as director of nutrition for a supplement company, and I've had the great privilege of learning from some of the greatest minds in the world of wellness, including Dr. Andrew Weil, Dr. Deepak Chopra, Dr. David Katz, Dr. Neil Bernard, Dr. Bernie Siegel, Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Barry Sears, and even television celebrity Dr. Mehmet Oz, along with many other respectable, talented practitioners. And I've studied over 100 different dietary theories and why they don't work for everyone. And I'm so very happy to be here with you today sharing this important information. Now, if you're here today, it's likely because you have excess belly fat that makes you feel uncomfortable or unattractive, that keeps you from wearing the clothes you really want to wear, that causes loss in libido and or self-confidence and holds you back from living an amazing life. I want you to know you are not alone. I myself used to struggle with excess belly fat, and when I wasn't pregnant, I wish I were so that I could have an excuse for the belly fat. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but we humans can come up with some pretty crazy ideas to avoid ridicule. But it's not the ridicule from others that's so detrimental. It's the ridicule from ourselves, that little voice inside us that tells us that we're not good enough. I was in church one Sunday and the speaker said something that really struck me. He said, "Our greatest sin is not against others, but against ourselves." So later I will address the emotional aspect of being overweight. Plus, I'm going to share an amazing, delicious fat burning recipe for you. It's a great treat that I'll share with you at the end of the presentation, so be sure to stick around for that. Now, before we get started, I just want to share a little bit of my personal journey of transformation to health. And I wasn't just a little overweight, I was really plagued with disease. I had chronic asthma. I was on an inhaler multiple times a day from childhood into adulthood. I had allergies. I had eczema all over my body. I had a lot of different digestive issues, irritable bowel syndrome, just gas and bloated most of the time, acid reflux. I was developing ulcers. I had chronic PMS and irregular periods. I had arthritis and tendinitis. I was experiencing chronic fatigue along with insomnia. That was really lovely. And then, of course, I had the sugar cravings and coffee addiction that so many people have, and was just an absolute mess. And this was by my mid 20s, and Western medicine couldn't fix me. I had a cabinet full of medications, none of which were addressing the real issues. And honestly, I just thought I was dealt a hand of cards that I would have to live with for the rest of my life. The doctors said that there were no cures and I would just have to manage my symptoms with medication. But I'm here today to tell you that they were absolutely wrong. And in a very short time, I was able to transform my slightly overweight, diseased body into a healthy, happy one. And the reason I do what I do today is so that I can empower you to take control of your own health and well being. You can do it, I promise you. You just simply need the right guidance, which is why we're here to get together today. So, I want to jump right in here and share the 5 simple tips to trim excess belly fat without starving yourself or exercising like a fiend. So, tip number 1 is don't overexercise. Overexercising can actually have the opposite effect. This is the number one mistake personal trainers make. You see, exercises causes cortisol to be released by the adrenal glands in order to convert protein to glucose for energy. And the dangers of excess cortisol are reduced growth hormone and testosterone output. You need both. Reduced muscle and increased abdominal fat. That's actually a protection mechanism. Osteoporosis, impaired memory and learning, reduced glucose utilization, and also impaired immunity. Now, this doesn't mean that you shouldn't exercise, okay? It just means that you shouldn't exercise too much. See, when your when your body thinks that it's been in fight or flight too long, it's going to store that excess glucose as fat as a protection mechanism. So if you're a regular exercise buff, you're one of those people who are constantly exercising, but yet you're still overweight and you can't understand why you can't shed that weight, I highly consider you significantly reduce the amount of time spent exercising to just 20 to 30 minutes at a time, and then giving your body a break in between workouts. I know it might be counterintuitive for some of you, but I promise just try it out and see if it works for you. I cannot tell you how many people I've worked with who exercise 6 days a week, sometimes twice a day, and don't understand why they're losing weight because they think, oh, calories in, calories out, right? Well, that's wrong. So they think they're burning more calories and they're going to lose weight, but their body's in a mode of protection and it's storing everything. As soon as they stop the massive amounts of exercising, their body goes, oh, thank goodness. And it relaxes and they can release the weight. So please consider that. And keep in mind that high cortisol leads to heart disease, which leads to belly fat. Belly fat and heart disease go together. It's widely known that belly fat is indicative of heart disease. So it just so happens that high cortisol significantly increases your risk of heart disease. So if you want to lose belly fat and avoid heart disease, watch how much you're exercising, as well as how much stress you have in your life. I mean, exercise causes stress, right? But you get stress from other areas in your life as well. By the way, little tidbit here, caffeine, the caffeinated beverages like coffee, soda, energy drinks are going to have the same effect on cortisol. So if you have excess belly fat and you're addicted to caffeine, I highly recommend working with a health coach like me to help you break that addiction. It could be one of the most important things that you do in your life. Tip number two is to reduce sugar consumption. I know this is no surprise. Sugar not only wreaks havoc on the immune system, but excess sugar gets stored as fat. This is the number one ingredient that creates more belly fat. The body does indeed need sugar or glucose for energy. However, the wrong kind, aka processed sugar, or too much will be stored as fat. And studies are now showing that high fructose corn syrup and other processed sugars, but high fructose corn syrup in particular, aren't being properly utilized by the body and they tend to get stored as fat versus used as energy. Very different when you're having natural sugar from natural sources. So if you're going to consume sugar, be sure that you're getting it in as natural form as possible. And then avoid those simple carbohydrates like bread, pasta, white rice, baked goods, and things like that. Tip number three, make your diet anti inflammatory. If you're constantly dumping chemicals in your body, you're creating inflammation. And as a result, your body may plump up as a form of protection. Chemicals, by the way, are mostly stored in fat cells. So, by detoxifying your body, that may help you release that stored fat. So, what you can do to make your diet anti inflammatory is to reduce processed food consumption. So, eat whole foods, reduce animal product consumption. Now, it doesn't mean you can't have animal products. And if you do, just make sure that you're going to eat organic animal products, but make sure that it's minimized. You should only be having about a palm size of protein at every meal, maybe a little bit more if you're working out, but you don't need nearly as much protein as people are generally consuming every single day. Increase your greens consumption and be sure to eat a rainbow of vegetables and fruits every single day. And then increase your fiber intake. Fiber helps reduce inflammation by trapping and carrying out those toxins. Tip number four is to eat high mileage foods. Now, these are the foods that are going to give you the most out of what you consume. If you're consuming empty calories like a donut, for example, or potato chips or white rice, because you're not getting the nutrition you need, your body is going to want more food. So if you're eating food that is very nutrient dense, your body realizes, hey, I'm full, I have what I need, and then you're not going to continue to want more. So these seven incredible foods can help you burn fat. The first of which is whole grains, like oatmeal, for example, provide much needed fiber and nutrients that will help fill you up, increase your metabolism, and keep you satiated longer, providing that long term energy that you need, and then reducing the potential for cravings. Plant-based proteins like nuts, seeds, beans, and legumes provide the protein that you need as building blocks so that you can be healthy, and then you can release that excess weight. Healthy fats like nuts, seeds, avocados, fatty fish, olive oil build the membrane on the outside of your cells excuse me, that help them communicate effectively and help keep you full and prevents the accumulation of belly fat. For years we thought that excuse me, that fat makes you fat, and that is completely not true. It's actually the opposite. When you consume healthy fats, it actually prevents the accumulation of belly fat. Eggs actually provide all 9 essential amino acids, plus a myriad of nutrients, including B12, which helps your body metabolize fat and protein. Green tea contains a substance called EGCG. There's a long name for that if you want to look that up, which has been shown to increase metabolism. And then vegetables provide fiber and a myriad of both the macro and the micronutrients. And micronutrients like anthocyanins and catechins help increase your body's ability to burn fat. What's number 7? Here you go. Peppers, especially the spicy ones like cayenne. They heat up the body and increase the metabolism. So, as long as you don't have some sort of allergy to peppers, be sure to add peppers to your meals on a daily basis. It's funny, I one morning accidentally put cayenne pepper in my oatmeal instead of cinnamon, and of course, I wasn't going to waste it. I thought, oh, what the heck? I'll eat it anyway. I couldn't even tell the difference. So I've been adding cayenne pepper to my oatmeal every day ever since. That's kind of funny. But if you look up the studies on peppers, especially cayenne pepper, it's amazing. You can burn like an extra 1,000 calories a day by adding peppers to your diet. So pretty cool stuff. Here we are. Tip number 5: don't skip meals, especially not breakfast. Now, this is another thing that I've seen a lot over the years of my practice is people coming in and saying, "Oh, well, I'm hardly eating anything. I'm not getting any calories." They think, "Oh, if I just reduce my calories, I'll lose weight." And that's so not true. In order to run effectively and efficiently, your body must receive the variety of nutrients and calories it needs to produce. And if it doesn't, it's going to store everything as fat so that it has what it needs later. Even even if it's not good stuff that it's storing, it thinks that it needs to protect itself. It thinks that it needs to store everything as fat so that it has what it needs, so they can have the energy to burn later when you're starving itself. So really important that you consistently are feeding yourself throughout the day, that you're getting breakfast, lunch, and dinner at minimum. Some people need to have snacks in between. Some people do better, eating 5 small meals a day versus 3 main meals a day. It's very individualized, and I go into detail on that when I work with my clients. But make sure that you're doing what's best for you, but you definitely need at least your 3 meals a day. The other thing is when you deprive yourself, you're likely going to cause cravings for unhealthy foods, and then you're not going to be able to shed the excess weight. So you're going to start binge eating, or you're going to eat things that are unhealthy when you deprive yourself. So really important that you're not skipping meals. Having balanced weight is easier than you think. It's really just a matter of having the right tools and the support that you need. And while I offered some practical tips here that absolutely work if you apply them and you make them a new way of life, I understand that it can be difficult to make changes. That's because you must address the subconscious. Now, the subconscious mind is so powerful. Its job is to protect you and keep everything in check. Unfortunately, your subconscious may not realize that you're actually trying to help yourself, and any change to what it thinks is the norm will be seen as a threat, even if it's a positive change. Now, when I work with my clients, we address the subconscious and make changes in a way that it can accept. It's an exciting, rewarding, and much easier process than trying to fight your way through change. Now, I would love the opportunity to help you break free from your current cycle that's keeping you stuck and create new long lasting habits that will bring about more health and happiness and overall well being in your life. What I really want to help you do is not only love your body, but also love yourself, no matter your physical appearance. Now, of course, you want to be fit because that creates better health and longevity. But what would happen if you were a fit, awesome looking person who was tragically mauled in an accident? I mean, how would you feel about yourself? Would you love yourself enough not to care what you look like? Now, I recently saw a post on Facebook about a 5-year little girl requesting Christmas cards. Um, in 2013, she lost her family in a fire. You can see a picture of her here. She was found next to her father, who was trying to shield her from the flames. At least that's what it appeared. And she was severely burned. She lost her right hand and her left foot. She's noticeably disconfigured, as you can see here. And it's really easy to show compassion for this innocent little girl. Really easy to show compassion. Yet for some reason, we can't show compassion for ourselves. So again, it is indeed important to have balanced weight for health reasons, and obviously that's why you're here. But it's even more important to love yourself, no matter your size or configuration. Now, this is an essential topic addressed in all my wellness programs. So, in your quest to trim belly fat, it's important to number one, adopt an appropriate diet and lifestyle, but also number two, address emotional issues that may be contributing to the problem. So, to help you get started, I would like to offer you a complimentary breakthrough strategy session with me. Now, this is a $250 value. In the strategy session, we'll identify where the gaps are in your life, discuss the steps needed to close those gaps, and then explore how I may be able to better assist you. Now, I'd like to share a short visualization exercise with you, and I'd just like you to get into a comfortable place and just close your eyes for a moment. Take a nice deep breath and just relax your body. Eyes closed, nice and relaxed. Take another deep breath and let it out. Okay. And with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine yourself 1 year from now. If you continue on your current path, where will you be 1 year from now? How will your current situation affect your relationships, your work life, your personal life 1 year from now? Now, I want you to tune into how you feel. Does thinking about your inability to change your path frustrate you? Does it make you feel sad or angry? Maybe there's another emotion that's coming up. I want you to imagine that your life at that moment is a snapshot. Just take a picture of that moment. Now I want you to imagine going to get a big permanent magic marker, big gigantic magic marker. And I want you to imagine yourself putting a big X over that snapshot. Just a big gigantic X. You don't want that picture anymore. You don't want that life anymore. Now, after putting that big gigantic X on there, I want you to imagine ripping up that snapshot, ripping it, just tearing it into tiny little shreds. This is no longer serving you and you want it gone. Now, after you ripped it into tiny little shreds, I want you to imagine striking a match and setting that little pile of shredded paper on fire. And as you watch it burn, you're letting all of those old feelings, that old you, burn away. As you see the fire dwindle, all that's left is ash. And I want you to take a big, deep breath and blow those ashes away. Nothing exists of that snapshot any longer. Now that you have a clean slate, I want you to imagine your life exactly as you want it to be 1 year from now. Now, I realize that you might get some negative chatter that comes up in this process, and that's okay. Just say thank you very much and then go back to the process of imagining exactly what you want your life to be like 1 year from now. Do you have that amazing body that you're proud to show off? Do you feel good in your skin no matter what? Do you have the confidence you need to do everything you want to do in your life? How does that make you feel? Happy? Joyful? At peace? What other positive emotions are coming up for you? Now I want you to imagine a new snapshot, this new you, this big smile on your face, attach this incredible healthy body that will provide you with everything you need to do amazing things in your life. Take that new snapshot of you and just pull it in closer next to your heart and just embrace and feel what that's like. Now I want you to take another deep breath. Let it out and open your eyes. Now I want you to think, what are you willing to do to make that new snapshot a reality? Now, I am so very passionate about helping others elevate their life, and I would be honored to help you in some way, even if it's simply connecting you to the right practitioner. That's why I'm offering you this opportunity to meet with me, but you must take action. Please don't wait. I know for me, myself, I've been guilty of letting my excitement wane and then just not taking action, and I don't want that to happen to you. This is your opportunity if you want to take it. So if you're finally ready to release what's been holding you back and learn how you can create the life that you were originally designed to have, please click on the button below to schedule your free breakthrough strategy session with me. Let's work together to create the life of your dreams. And I'd like to share some results with some clients that I've worked with in the past. This here is Kathleen. Before we started working together, she was overweight with a chronic cough and cravings for sugar. After working together, she lost weight, her cough disappeared, and her cravings were reduced. She said, I lost 18 pounds. I also had a chronic cough and was constantly clearing my throat of phlegm. That's totally disappeared. I felt amazing. As I learned more recipes, I started to see that I could eat healthy most of the time. Most importantly, I realized which foods were making me not feel well, in my case, dairy. The program has absolutely changed my life and the life of my kids as I pass it on in so many ways. Thank you, Gina. This here is Lacey. Before we started working together, she was overweight with high blood sugar and she was on diabetes medication. She had sleep apnea and digestive issues. After working together, she lost weight. She reduced her blood sugar and no longer needed her medication. Her sleep apnea improved and her digestion improved. She said, thank you for all of the guidance you've given me. It has been very helpful and in some cases life-saving. I have lost 45 pounds and no longer need my diabetes medication. I feel a lot healthier now, not just physically, but mentally. I feel like I found the answer to my wellness problems, and it wouldn't have been possible without your help. I truly cannot thank you enough, Lacey. This here is Somia. Before we started working together, she had a lot of stress and anxiety. She felt lost and disconnected. She lacked self confidence. She had cravings, disrupted sleep, acne, hair loss. She was a little bit overweight. She had PMS and some knee pain. And after working together, she learned ways to manage her stress and anxiety. She found her passion in life. She felt more energetic and confident. She reduced her cravings, improved her sleep. She lost some weight. Her skin and hair improved, and her knee pain was reduced. She said, I've learned a lot from working with Gina. Most importantly, I learned some simple techniques to help me in my daily life. I found ways to make checklists fun, set goals, and create a path to reach them. I also have the tools I need to exercise properly for my body type. I've increased my knowledge of foods and eating. This has helped me to be a better judge of what is good for me. I began to branch out and find other things that work for me or within my dietary needs. Others have commented that I am more confident now. I am definitely more relaxed and not worried about my future. Having Gina as my personal health coach helped me get on track to discovering who I am and where I want to go in life. Somia. Now, Sonia's case is a little bit different. A lot of hers was very emotional, and she went on to do some amazing things in life and travels the world. So, really wonderful story. Earlier, I mentioned this amazing, delicious sweet treat that actually helps you burn fat. Now, being healthy does not mean you have to eat horrible food. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Healthy foods have more flavor, beautiful natural color, and they're very fulfilling both physically and emotionally. Now, this burning power shake contains 16 grams of protein, 18 grams of fiber, 28 grams of healthy, wonderful fat, 47 grams of carbohydrates, and less than 4 grams of sugar, and it's only 600 calories. It's a great shake to have after a workout or even for breakfast. Now, like every meal should be, it has a healthy blend of protein, carbohydrates, fiber, fat, and fruits or vegetables. In this case, fruit. And you can add some veggies in there as well if you want to. It's also packed with some extra punch with the cayenne pepper that I'll show you in just a moment. It gives it some zing. So I'm going to share this recipe, but don't worry if you don't get it down because I will send you the recipe via email after. So just watch for that. Okay, here we go. 1 cup unsweetened almond milk, 1/2 cup ground rolled oats, 1 tablespoon peanut butter. Make sure you get a good healthy kind, not the stuff with the hydrogenated oil and syrups and stuff like that. Just nice, pure, natural, plain, unsalted, unsweetened peanut butter. 2 tablespoons chia seed, preferably ground. If you have a coffee grinder, you can do that or buy them pre ground, which is even better. 2 ounces acai berry juice or a half packet of frozen acai berry, which is what I typically use. And then a half to a quarter teaspoon cayenne pepper, depending on your palate. Feel free to add more if you like it nice and spicy. And then feel free to add some spinach or kale or some greens in there as well. Or you can add, juice some celery or anything like that to put in there as well. Just don't add any other fruits because you don't want to add the any of the sugar in there. So, and acai is really really low in sugar. You can see this contains 2 grams, so super super low in sugar. So just make sure if you add to this that you make sure that it's sugar free and no artificial sweeteners, no chemicals or anything like that, preferably vegetables. But this is an amazing, wonderful treat to have in the morning or after a workout, especially after workout because it's nice and cooling. I hope you enjoy this delicious fat burning treat. And in the meantime, I look forward to learning more about you and how I can better assist you. I can't wait to meet you. Good luck with everything to you. God bless.